Okay, my video on my end totally froze up. I don't know what was going on. I just froze on me going like this from 10 years ago.
No, we saw it.
Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be across this beautiful blue-green globe of ours. Welcome to Real News Live. I'm your host, Mike Barra, in Las Vegas, Nevada, not too far away from Boulder City, Nevada. Thank you for the t-shirt. Diana over at Mike Barra Pat's got me this for my birthday.
Nice.
So, a really good fitting shirt. I really like it. So thank you, Diana. Thank you, Regina, for the t-shirts, the Hiss t-shirts, and Boston cream pie, which was delicious. And thank you, Jen, for the Christmas presents and everything else. So thank you, guys. I am your host, Mike Barra, in Las Vegas, Nevada, joined, as always, by the lovely lady with the lustrous hair. Right now, she's underneath me. She's below me on the screen. Jennifer Fallaw-Doering in Hayden, Idaho. FALLAWDOERING. Jen got on my case a little bit last week with, fair enough that when I talk about her on other shows like Mark Z's show, I call her Jen, and I don't really, like, anybody who's new wouldn't know who the hell I'm talking about. So I'm going to try to go out of my way to make sure that everybody knows who you are.
It's just good manners.
You look lovely today, by the way. You're all filled out, and you look really nice.
Well, thank you.
You're not as pale as you frequently are in that light.
Yeah, I switched up the. I don't know what I did.
You need to get these ring lights with the different warm and.
I do have a ring light.
Get it. The cold tone.
It's a shadow.
All right, guys. First thing I want to address is the Saturday show. We had a thing where I got all excited on Saturday, and I talked about some stuff where the Iraqi dinar appeared to have revalued to 1,000 to 1, which was something that we've been looking for in this whole process of adjustment and revaluation. But it turns out it wasn't maybe quite exactly what I thought it was. And Mark Z addressed it on his show this morning. But what I wanted to do is kind of go through and show everybody what I'm talking about in case you missed the update the other day. It came up that somebody pointed out to me that on CFIX that the rate was 1,000 to 1. That's actually not CFIX. So sorry. Here we go. Share this tab instead. Currency Exchange International, that the rate was 1,000 to 1. This is something we've been looking for. 0.001 is a rate we've been looking for, because then they can adjust everything to just delete the 3 zeros, these 3 leading zeros, and it becomes a 1-to-1 rate, $1 to 1 dinar, which is something that's very exciting. So over on Currency Exchange International, you can purchase a million dinar for $1,007, plus I think a $10 fee involved with that. And that's pretty exciting stuff because, Jen, we talked about your previous Jentel from, 6 or 8 months ago, probably 6 months ago, where you talked about how they wanted these numbers to be even so that it could propagate through these documents that you saw. And that document was their budget document. So we figured that out. But then you go to other sites, and for instance, you go to XE, which is just a site that shows currency rates, and it still showed the rate as 1,309 dinars to the US dollar. So that was the rate there. But then there's other places again where you would go to Banknote World, and they're showing the rate of it would be $1,250, give or take, for a million dinars. So on one site you can get it for 1,000. On another site it's $1,250 for a million dinar. So I got all excited and kind of tried to figure out, well, what the hell's going on here? But Mark addressed it this morning on his show. I talked a little bit to him this weekend, but he likes to take his weekends off, so we didn't have a whole lot of discussion on it. So let's go with what Mark Z had to say this morning on his show about this specific circumstance. Because, Jen, I think it's going to line up with what you and I talked about yesterday. So we shall see.
Yeah, the 1,000 to 1. Mike looks at part of it, I think, backwards and part of it dead on. We did over the weekend go back and forth, and there are a number of sites that are, if you put it in their currency calculator, it's coming up to $1 being worth about 8,000 Iraqi dinar. Don't read too much into that one yet, because some of those sites the proper, what is it, 1 million dinars should go for like 800 and some dollars US. Actually, it'd be, yeah, 7 something, yeah, close to 8. So with fees and slash whatever, that means that the markets are still making good money. It's the reverse of that where it gets very important. In other words, can you sell 1,000 dinar and get $1 US? The reverse side is going to be important. And some of the sites he shared over the weekend were indeed doing that. So it wasn't like, if they're only selling you 1,000 dinar for $1, then they're making good money, because they're buying them at the official rate of about 13. So they're making good money. Or if they're buying on the black market and selling to you at 1,500, then they're making obscene money. But if it's the other way around, and if you turn in 1,000 dinar and they're giving you $1, then you have an effective, massive change in what we're looking for. And there is quite a bit of documentation over the past week that is happening. So while he may be a little premature, he is on the right track and very solid in his thinking. And I know there's a lot of pushback on that one. It'll make sense if you stop and think about it. The sell rate as opposed to, the buy rate, very important in this one.
Okay, so that was what Mark had to say today. So kind of got overexcited, got mixed up. Jen, did you have anything you wanted to add to that? Because I know you.
Yes, I do.
Okay, I knew you would.
So let's think about this. Okay. When I was young going to college, my parents had a gas station, mercantile. We had commercial fuel accounts anyway. Dropped it in my lap, said, fix it. A failing business, and I did. Anyway, when you buy a load of gas and it goes into the tank at a certain rate, then you add on 1 million taxes on top of that. Don't get me started on that. But let's say you're, selling gas for $2 because of the rate that you got. And everybody in town sell gas at $2. Well, then the place that does a large volume of gas emptied their tanks and bought gas at the new rate. Now they're selling it for less, but you can't sell yours for less because you still have a whole bunch in the ground. Now, I just wanted to raise that idea to everyone when we're taking a look at these rates. Now, the people that come and said, oh, I bought it back in October for that. Well, good for you. You also have a dealer rate. And they're like, well, they're not buying it for the same rate that you are, or they're not going to make any money. Okay? Now, if a dealer buys a large quantity of something, they will get a better rate. Okay? So if you're buying from some people who still have a lot of gas in the ground, they still have a lot of currency on hand that they bought at a higher rate or lower rate or whatever, higher rate, you're going to pay more. Okay? But if they just got a new shipment, a whole big bunch of a new shipment at a new rate, you're going to pay less. There's something, we have to factor that in. We have to think about that. Okay? Now, if CFEX is selling at a lower rate right now, maybe they got a new shipment and maybe it is lower. Okay? And the other sites that you see that are still selling at $13.50 bought a lot and have a lot on hand. Now, sometimes would they drop the rate to get rid of it if they had too much? And if they knew that an exchange is coming and they got too much on hand, will they drop that rate? Yeah, either way, it's a good sign. Either way. That's all I have to say.
Okay. That, by the way, folks, is Jennifer Falador, and you can find her at Jennifer Falador on YouTube, Philosophy on Telegram. That's the important one, Philosophy on Telegram. And you can find me, by the way, on MikeBarrett.blogspot.com. Rumble is Real News Live right here. And Telegram is Mike Barrett 33, Instagram Mike Barrett 33. I've come to the point, Jen, where if I have something that I feel like is an inside thing, a little bit of a secret, I only share it on Telegram because those are the people that are really loyal and to this show and to you and to me, and they're the ones who deserve to hear it first. Actually, Regina gets everything first. You get it first. Regina gets it second because she's a really great taking really good care of me here.
Yeah.
I guess appreciate that. All right, a couple of other things I want to add to the news of the Baratel segment. Mark also mentioned something today which he felt was significant. He said the bond holders, the bond guys, several of them that he personally knows who are holding the old bonds, which are the first thing that have to be paid out, are now under NDAs. And they were not under NDAs before. Also, I have a bond guy that I'm tracking through various sources. He can now see his 1% in his bank account. He cannot yet spend it. It hasn't been released, but he can now see his 1% in his bank account.
1%, you say?
He could not see that last week. Now, Jen, does that 1%, does that ring familiar to you at all?
Yeah, it's a loan from a big bank.
Yeah.
Until it's time as we go to gold, and your treasury account, the balance in your treasury account is a recognized currency because that is in notes.
So the plan was you get, after you do your exchange, you get a 1% loan of fiat currency against those funds. In other words, like, do I have to pay it back? No. Yeah, you'll pay it back when we convert to gold. The 1%, the 9% full thing will only happen after we publicly go to a gold-backed currency.
And what does that tell us if we know that someone has received a 1% loan on
he's exchanged?
That means that the Treasury has contacted that big bank and said, yes, we recognize this as a legitimate asset that you can loan on.
You can loan against.
And if they can loan on it, they know we're going to gold.
Ta-da, ta-da. Now, before we get to what you all came here for, today's Jentel, I wanted to remind everybody of last week's Jentel. Last week, Jen, on 1/22/24, Archangel Gabriel said, and you say meditation, I kind of like prayer better than, because it's like, it's divine what you're doing.
Everything I do is a deep form of prayer. Everything I receive comes through faith, and through interdimensional meditation is a projection of consciousness to the 6th level of heaven. And I stand there and it's like walking in a dream and I talk to him. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The Middle East is contemplating war in Iraq. Why? Would it stop the RV? No, it would be designed to push it and eliminate the opposition that has been delaying it. What did we see this last week? War in Iraq. We saw bombs going off in Iraq. We saw attacks in Iraq. Those attacks were against targets of people that were preventing the RV in Iraq. Exactly what Jen told you. And I will remind you again, there are now open negotiations for the United States to withdraw from Iraq. And Donald Trump told you and told them, we'd be happy to pull all of our military out of Iraq as soon as you revalue your currency and pay us back. Those are the terms. So what this means is we're getting very, very close to that. They are prepared to hit targets to get this done. Well, that's exactly what they did last week. So Jentel confirm right there. The other thing was on page 2. What will we see this week? Leaked footage. That was the Carrie Lake thing. It was actually leaked audio where you heard the Republican GOP chairman try to bribe Carrie Lake through the deep state to not run for the U.S. Senate in Arizona this year. That was dramatic and intense. Flooding. We saw massive floods in San Diego and some other places. And a call to arms from Donald Trump, which is exactly what he did. So, Jen, anybody who doubts what you get is a fool or a liar, and we will crush them under our boots.
Well,
the streets will flow with the blood of the unbelievers if they don't believe in you.
I appreciate that. We must always remain humble. I can always be wrong and have.
Yeah, well, you can be wrong, and there was 1 or 2 things that didn't happen that you missed there. But you have to understand, it's always about timetables. And we've had situations where Jen has talked about something in May, and it didn't happen until August, but it happened. So that's very important. And to understand that just because it didn't happen this week doesn't mean it's not going to happen next week. And there are delays and human choices and all that stuff. So I know you have some more Jentel. So I'm going to let you. You have a lot of Jentel today. I haven't read it yet, but I understand it's quite extensive. So I will just turn it over to you and let you hit it.
Okay, interdimensional meditation for January 29th, 2024, with Archangel Michael and Archangel Gabriel. Will the U.S. fiat dollar crash soon? He says it has begun. Michael was speaking. He said it has begun. They will prop it up artificially with gold and industry markets. Will we see a total collapse and lose the money in the banks? No, it will not fall that far. Okay, so this goes hand in hand with what I always saw, that we would not lose our money in the banks. Now, I can't talk about stock market, but what we would not actually lose all our money and not get it back. There may be some temporary pause to stop everybody from they may close down the banks and everything for maybe a day, 24 hours, but you can't do that for very long without the sleeping giant that is the public retaliating against the government and everything else and having total chaos. Okay, they don't want that. When will we switch to the gold-backed dollar or note? After the RV. Hype about a financial collapse will increase and cause panic. News about asset-backed currencies will lead to U.S. demand to do the same after they see the rest of the world starting to do this. Why aren't we doing it? So then the change to gold happens. Do the banks really have the currency in-house and ready in the USA, the new currencies? Yes. They do not have much fiat currency on hand. And so what they've been doing is switching it out. And they've been filling the vault with more.
That matches up with the bank story from 3 weeks ago.
And I asked him, how long have they been doing this? He says, and I thought it was either 3 or 4 months.
Yeah. What that lady saw, it was right before the new year. Yeah. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Like that.
Is the IQD value rising? And then I get confused about this. I'm like, is it okay? So it's rising. The dinar value is rising compared to the dollar. And this is, I don't know if this makes any sense, but this is what I got. Do with it with what you will. The street rate, I can't read my own writing. Hang on.
It's hard to determine because of what is happening in.
Well, I don't have the ugly glasses on right now. Okay,
I can read it for you if you'd like.
The street rate is hard to determine because of what is happening in the country, in Iraq. It's fluctuating because of infrastructure. It's fluctuating because of all the things, the programs, the things that are going on. That is why the rate changes have not been posted publicly, because it's moving. The rates on the redemption screens are contract rates and predetermined. And I asked, what do you mean, contract rates between exchange centers and people? No. Contracts between countries and the World Alliance, and he called it for the first time, the transition team. Predetermined in August of, what I heard first was 2023, and then I asked again, I'm like, 2023, is it 20, and I got 2022. August.
Which you nailed.
Now, if it usually you should go with the first thing you hear. Okay, not question it, because then you get it wrong. The paperwork I saw about the rates, how long ago was that? You want to bet that it was August? Starting to think so.
August of 2022, I remember specifically, yeah. Okay.
Was it 22 or 23? Either one.
22.
When you see the street rate post, The exchange centers can call their people in to conduct exchanges in business. So right now, it's fluctuating in the country. They're waiting for that sweet spot. They're waiting for it to kind of level out. They're going to post that. Then the rates on the screens, we've heard all along from the angels, would be higher, and they're different. Okay. Is the rate on the exchange screens rising for our exchange? Meaning, okay, it's going. We heard it was at 240. Has that gone up for us? It has risen 20% since yesterday. And then he smiled at me. I was like, this is good. This is good. Okay. News and confirmation of this, he either said is today or on its way. Pretty sure he said today. But I don't like saying it's happening today because it stresses me out all day. So, they're just waiting for something to stabilize in country, or with whatever rate they're going to post, that will not cause a giant panic and rush to the banks and rush to exchange within the country or outside of the people that know, who are going to go in and get contract rates. Okay. Contract rate doesn't mean that, people talk about contract rates. Oh, if you do a humanitarian project, you're going to sign a contract, whatever. I think the contract rate that he was referring to was between countries and with the World Alliance, or the transition team, as he called it today. They're predetermined. And so what they're doing, as things change in Iraq, they're watching that move. And on the exchange and redemption screens, they're watching that rise. And when they get up to the place where they're supposed to be, boom, they post the rate in Iraq and everything starts. Okay. What will we see in the news this week? Trains derailed because of the transport of illegals. That stopped. Planes down, he said. I don't think it's crashing, because I don't want to believe it's crashing. I don't panic. Okay. I think this is, they've grounded the planes for something. Okay. Now, this week would probably extend all the way to Saturday. Armed transport. We're going to see something about armed transport. Okay. Now, this is interesting. Alternative religion exposed. And I went back and forth with that, but that's what I heard. I did hear that. So something is going to be exposed about somebody and their religion. Shots fired at the U.S. border. Now, this one reminds me of the old shot heard around the world. I don't know. We have to be very careful with the situation, because I just have a sneaky suspicion that they're trying to get us into a civil war. They're trying to create chaos. Now, let me finish this, and then I want to go back to that. I want to go back to this. Okay. Financial talk of solutions. So a lot in the financial world, everybody's talking about the crash. Okay. And then what can we do? And so you're going to hear a lot of talk about that. We're going to have rain everywhere. Okay. It's going to rain a lot this week. Now, this one shocked me because I thought he was dead. Okay. Who is trying to start the civil war or revolution? Soros. I heard two words, Soros, and I'm like, isn't he dead? And he said, predecessor. Could that be Obama? The Soros, could that just be a name of a big group of people follow the same ideas, have the same opinions. Now, shots fired at the U.S. border. A long time ago, Dave Barra and I was telling him we have 2 presidents. Okay? And he says that's an interregnum. And we talked about this, years ago? Now, I said, and this was before everybody came out with the Law of War manual, and everybody came out with all that. Okay, this was before that. I said there is some kind of manual or book of war that says in an interregnum, when you've got split powers, okay, if the country is attacked on their soil or has war on their soil, whoever sits in the White House has got full power. So you want to figure out what's going on right now. This is the last-ditch effort to cause a giant war on our soil so Joe Biden can have full power over the military. Okay? This is what I think. All right? And if that is true, that's why they've been flooding our borders through his entire fake half presidency, interregnum. And I've always said that I saw the EBS when these pockets of people camping in the woods and in closed down schools and hotels and, these are paid thugs. Okay? And they will call them in to act like outraged citizens and create a civil war scenario. So now if I hear there's shots fired at the U.S. border, that makes me think somebody's going to start some stuff. Okay? And blame it not on the military, but the citizens. And if that, in fact, happens, we got a problem. So I feel, the White Hat's watching. They know this. I'm sure they have a plan for that. But I'm a little nervous about it. Okay? So we really want to watch that situation. The Soros thing surprised me and predecessor. Because I was, the way it's being, and I don't like how hyped it's been. I don't like how fast it's, this a revolution and all the states are jumping on board and everybody jump on board and everybody go down to the border and, drive your big trucks and everything. Everybody get involved. I think we've been here before, haven't we? With January 6th. We have to be very careful about who you trust, who you listen to, what stories you listen to, because underneath this whole thing, now, could it lead to a second American Revolution? Yeah. The White Hats would have to be pretty tricky and figure that out. Probably have a plan. I don't like it. I don't like the whole thing. I don't trust the whole thing. So be very careful who you listen to right now. We got armed transport in the news. We got alternative religion exposed. We got shots fired at the border. Everything's kind of happening at once. But we got to be very careful not to get too crazy about going out and taking the law into our own hands. And I know there's always somebody that jumps up and says, okay, well, do nothing. No, it's not that you have to do nothing. But to go run down to the border and join in all this things, you might get yourself stuck in another January 6th situation. Especially because, I don't know if it was the last Jentel or the one before that, I saw men with automatic weapons pointed down, caught. I believe that some of these groups that are going down to the border are paid actors. and they've been sitting here waiting for a long time. Now, I always saw the EBS happen when these pockets of people in residential neighborhoods out in the woods or whatever come out as citizens, and probably as us, they'll probably pose as us, outraged. Or the other way around, like if Biden's removed, they're outraged and they're going to freak out and start all these problems. And that's when the military comes in, cleans up those pockets. So it's a very sensitive situation right now. Be careful what you say online. Be careful who you listen to. Be careful what you do. And that's Jentel for today.
Okay, let's go back through it. Back to front. Who is trying to start a civil war revolution? Soros. I believe this is a reference to Alex Soros, the son of George Soros, who is probably dead. His predecessor is the one who put him up to it, but I think that's a reference to Alex Soros, who last week put out a meme symbolically calling for the assassination of Donald Trump. So he's the
Did he?
Yes, he did. He's taken over. Rain everywhere. Okay, we'll watch for that. Not too shocking. Financial talk of solutions. That's good for us. That means getting onto a gold standard. Shots fired at the U.S. border. Yeah, I can see that coming. Alternate religion exposed. That's going to be interesting, Jen. It's going to be very interesting because a lot of these people, a lot of these dirty, bad people in government are freaks, and they worship Moloch and all sorts of weird religions. And also, I think that's where the UFO disclosure movement is headed. I think that they are going to put out a false narrative that aliens have been here for millions of years and they created our religions and Jesus isn't real. It was created by aliens. That, I believe, is what they're going to go with. So when people think alien invasion, that's not what I think anymore. I think they're going to try to undermine our relationship to Jesus, our relationship to God, by coming up with a false alien religion. So this will be very interesting as that develops. Armed transport, planes down. I can see, Jen, after what happened with the 737 MAX, I see grounding. I think that to me, that's like they're going to ground a bunch of airplanes because of technical problems. Or that's going to be the excuse. They're creating excuses to ground entire fleets of airplanes. Maybe, because in reality, they're going to stop the transportation of all the illegals. Trains derailed. I mean, think about that. It's like, well, if we have a couple of train derailments, maybe we better stop all the train traffic while we figure out what's going on, right? That makes sense. So I think those things are all not only doable, but very likely to be happening in the next week or so. It has risen 20% since yesterday, the Iraqi dinar. Jen, I really think that's what we're seeing in the 1,000 to 1 versus 1,300 to 1. That's what we're seeing, is we're seeing an increase behind the scenes. And Mark and I had a discussion offline where we did discuss that's really what we're seeing in these currency valuations, because there's movement going on. And
I really don't know very much at all about that entire situation, that whole industry and how things work. And I like to keep it that way, because when I get this information, I try not to watch a lot of shows. I try not to find out a lot about the topics I'm asking about, so that I know that if I got that information and I didn't know anything, then it's right.
Right.
And it's confirmed by people who do. So I like to do it that way.
Yeah, and then the contract rates thing, those were negotiated per country. Every country has a different rate. The United States is going to get probably the best rates in all of the world, because we've been holding up the world's economy for the last 100 years. So Donald Trump negotiated those, and predetermined in August of 2022. That's exactly when you said, I see a meeting and I see papers being signed. And those are all the agreements. You did say that, and I think that's absolutely correct. When you see the street rate post, the exchange centers can call the people. So the street rate is hard to determine because of what's happening in the country. That's the military strikes. and the negotiation stuff and all the political upheaval in
And
Iraq.
that may be how the bad guys within the country have been trying to stop it, messing with that.
Yep. So if they take action against these military targets that are holding up the RV, then that will stabilize the in-country rate, and they will set on something which is going to be around 1-to-1, and then kaboom! Like I say, once that's published, it begins. So did you say you got that it would be this week that they were likely to set their rate this
I
week?
didn't get timing on that, but it's coming. I'm still sticking with my original timeline that the appointments first week of February. That means like not this week, but next week.
Right. Will the U.S. fiat dollar crash soon has begun? They will prop up artificially with gold and industry markets. Well, last night, Evergrande collapsed. Evergrande is the biggest Chinese company that has real estate holdings and all kinds of stuff. They're $33 billion in debt, and a judge in China said they need to be broken up and sold off and be liquidated. And the Chinese markets immediately crashed. They halted trading on all the Evergrande related companies. That should have caused a cascading wave of panic in the U.S. stock market today. Instead, they flooded it with tons of fiat currency to try to keep the American markets propped up. It goes against all logical sense. The markets should be panicking. But keep in mind, most Americans aren't in the stock market. You're a fool if you are, and most Americans are not in the stock market. So even if that goes down, it won't actually affect the individual American very much, but it will create a sense of panic, and maybe people will then want to get their money out of the banks. So
there is a lot of people still in the stock market.
Well, not that many, really, in terms probably.
How many surface dwellers do you have?
Well, 401ks, or Mark actually talked about this quite a bit on his show today. The number of people actually in a 401k anymore that's invested in the stock market is about 1 to 2% of the population.
Okay.
So it's really low. And so in other words, it won't freak people out, except depending on how the news media plays it. And then again, when do we switch to the gold-backed note after the RV? The RV is first. It's a fiat exchange, and then we go to the banks. We go to the gold-backed system. So lots of stuff in there that I thought was really interesting, Jen, and very plausible for it all to happen this week. All right, about 805 of you guys in the live stream today. That's pretty good for our opening salvo here. I appreciate you guys being here on a Monday morning. Please keep in mind, as always, that these videos, these live streams, are deleted off of the YouTube channels Mike Barra 3 and Mike Barra 333 almost as soon as we're done with the show, very shortly thereafter, in order to avoid the YouTube censorship problem that we have over and over again. But you can always pick up the show over on mikebarra.blogspot.com, where you can see all of the latest shows that we have recently, the shows in the past. You can get links to my books. You can go to old lectures I've given at various places over the years, and you can pick up all of the different shows that we do on a regular basis. So mikebarra.blogspot.com. I got to get my links up to Mike Barra Pets and all that stuff as well. So speaking of that, however, please do not forget to visit our wonderful sponsors, the CBD Gurus, the CBDGurus.com, where you can get all kinds of wonderful CBD products for your health. Slide over to the wholesale tab, slide down to the Mike B Wholesale, click on that, type in the discount code, which is ALIEN, no uppercase, no S on the end, just ALIEN, ALIEN. Hit enter and pick up this week's specials. Matt and Lucas have some great specials over there. For every $100, you get 500 dinar, and for 150 plus, you get 5,000 dinar. So they're giving away free currency. This week's specials are the lion's mane, the pain cream, the pet treats, the relax sleep oil, the miracle gold, the CBD isolate capsules. capsules. I wonder what those are. I have to click on them. I wonder what those are. Doesn't really say, but I'll have to ask Lucas about that. All kinds of great products, the gummies, the immunity formula, all kinds of cool stuff. And don't forget, you can also get the Mike B formal wear. You can get lounge pants or pajama bottoms for the ladies, my face and Mark Z's face and aliens and flying. So, and who doesn't want ladies' pajama bottoms with me and Mark's face on them? I mean, everybody wants that, right? Also, please don't forget to slide on over to MikeBarrettPets.com, where you can pick up a lot of cool mushroom-based supplements for your pet's health and your health. They work on the Coriolis versicolor mushrooms, natural whole foods, great stuff for your kitty's health, for your doggy's health. And if you go to the Shop Now tab, you can take a look at all kinds of the cool stuff here. Here's the dog stuff. I give Barkley the Mojos, which are liver based and with the mushroom in them. It's got the super sauce, the mush puppies. His energy levels are off the scale. They've got some antlers, deer antler stuff for the dogs. It's just great stuff. And Barkley has been just absolutely flourishing since he started taking his stuff. For the cats, we've got the super sauce. And you can give the Mojos to the kitties too, although they're not really wild about liver. And they have grain-free chicken and salmon meal dry cat food. I got to get some of that. I got to try that, Jen. And then for horses as well, you've got horse products, mush ponies, which are great snacks for your horses that are based on this mushroom technology. And also the human treatments. There's the Enforce Restore. I'm taking both of them. I'm taking the Enforce Coriolis versicolor mushrooms for immune system support, and for liver and pancreas and organ support, I'm taking the Enforce Restore. So these things are great. There's lots of other products. Enforce Clarity. There's some chocolates, which are absolutely delicious. They have coffees. They have all kinds of cool stuff. MikeBarrettPets.com. And don't forget, just go ahead and send an email if you have any questions about what product would be best for this or that ailment that you or your horse or your dog or your kitty has. Diana will be happy to engage with you and explain things to you and find the right stuff for you, find the right product for you. Jen, why don't you tell us what's going on over at JenniferFalaw.com?
Well, if you would like God-centered reading with me, you can go to JenniferFalaw.com. There is a donation button there at the top. That's a little bit of love. But what we have on sale right now until the 1st, so you got a couple days left, are weight loss healings. And the way this works is it's a full body healing, anything that would contribute to you keeping weight on, not being successful on your plan. It's also a talk with the soul. So healing is always done on a soul level. It transfers down to the body. Same thing with the conscious and subconscious mind. We're going to talk to the subconscious or the soul. I haven't really figured that out yet. They're the same thing. But and tell you to stay on your plan and tell you to get rid of all. First thing Jesus told me to do when I learned how to do the healings and meditation, tell the body what to do. And that's what we do with the weight loss healing. And it helps people stay on their weight loss plan happily and be successful. Most people do that on a 3-month. So if you want to pick 3 of them up, it's on sale now. The yearly forecast reading, I will not offer it again for the rest of 2024, is only available until the 1st. Okay? It's going to come down on the 1st. So go and get that now.
I'm getting mine on the 31st, right? A couple days?
You already got yours. You and Dave got yours for your birthday. And so we're doing that on the 31st, yes.
Yes, we're doing that. Okay, that's right.
Oh, so I have 30-minute readings. I have hourly readings. I have regular healings. But this right here, if you would like, I am taking new students. I will probably take this down on the 1st as well. So if you would like to be a student of mine to learn how to do interdimensional meditation, the projection of conscious, all the way up to conscious, God-centered conscious creation, sign up now. And for this, you'll receive 9 video classes, and you'll get 4 one-hour sessions with me to start. And we'll with your gifts, and it's a one-on-one with me on the phone, tailor-made psychic development, and just whatever you would like to see happen with your abilities. Some people want to teach, some people just want it for themselves, some people want to do it professionally. If you are concerned about somebody who is had vaccines, I came up with this everything toxic DNA cleanse, DNA correction, healing. That is available as well. And then we have house cleanses, personal cleanses. The only two girls that I put my seal approval on, Susan Gretz is amazing for mediumship and missing persons. And she also does lots of other things. And Marcy Howe is helping me out with the house cleanses and the personal cleanses. You can get to her quicker for that than me. I would just like to tell people I am behind on the emails. I got a wave hit me last week and I'm catching up. So if you're wondering if I did not get your email, yes, I did.
Okay.
It's still sitting there. I also missed a whole section of people on the 23rd, and I have to go back and do that today. I was going to do it this morning, but then I ended up doing more Jentel. So that's where we're at.
Okay. And that is what is going
Constantly
on.
overwhelmed with too much to do, but I do have slots available within, next week to schedule readings and things.
That is what is going on over at jenniferfallaw.com. So please do not forget to drop on by our wonderful sponsors, the CBD Gurus at thecbdgurus.com, Mike Barrett Pets at MikeBarrettPets.com, or send Diana an email, MikeBarrettPets@gmail.com. And it says Mike Barrett Pets, but it's also for people. And don't forget to swing on by JenniferFallaw.com, CBD Gurus. Go. Discount code ALIEN, ALIEN. Okay, Jen, we're going to swing over now and take a few questions. I don't know how much longer we have you for. It's already 11. Big news night, news day today, and we started a little late. But key thing here. First of all, the people on Rumble that are $5 a month subscribers, they get to go first. They get to ask their questions first. And the other cool thing is we need your name and the name of the person or entity that you are asking about. That is really so let's slide on over to Rumble and share that screen. There you are, Jen. You're talking on Rumble already. Let's get you all caught up. Okay, so you see these people here with the little red castle. That means they are a $5 a month subscriber. That's the best way to support the show, really, is to just hit the subscribe button at the bottom of the chat on Rumble. Create your Rumble account, link a credit card or a debit card. $5 a month. It's easy for you. It's wonderful for us. Makes us happy. All right. Let's see if there's any questions here. We'll start with the red stuff. Kim, happy Monday, Jen. Can you ask Jesus what is up with my heartburn or acid reflux pain? Acid reflux. Pain starts up in my chest, throat, but ends between the shoulder blades. Is it a stomach or back issue? That's Kim.
It is a stomach issue. You need to get checked out for an ulcer.
Okay. That's not good. Robin here. Back in October, a sweet, red, very friendly kitty showed up at my door. Vet cleared in December and brought in. Tries to go out in garage. Outside, not so much. Is he happy? What can I do for Teddy?
And who is this?
This is Robin and wants to know about her kitty Teddy and what he needs. I'd say don't let him go outside. That's a great way to a short life.
Actually, what I've seen from cats that live outside and inside, they're hardy. They're doing well. I've got one that's the same age as Charlie, and she's running around like a kitten, and he's over there in the corner in front of the fireplace, just like. Anyway, I don't think he needs anything. He wants to be outside.
Okay. Is he happy though? He's happy with his new arrangement.
Oh yeah, just keep him with plenty of food and water and freedom, and he's happy.
Okay, get him some CBD pet treats from the CBD Gurus, or get him some stuff from Mike Barrett Pets, some really healthy treats and things that will make him way better. Good morning, beautiful Jennifer. Love the hair today. Good morning, Mike and friends. Well, good morning to you too, Patriot. Spirit Guide, what is your guidance about 10 Days of Darkness?
My guidance is that is misunderstood. We've been trying to figure that out for a very long time. It may be 10 days and then darkness. So I really don't have a solid answer for you.
I think the actual Q post was 10 days darkness. That's it. Not 10 days of darkness, just 10 days darkness. Could mean a lot of things. Lori Bakemeyer thinks your hair is beautiful today, Jen.
Thank you, Lori.
Scott says Boeing has downed many. Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. Scott says Boeing downed many planes with bolts missing. Yep. Lori wants to know, hey, Jen, question. Cliff and I are going to change the executor of our will and take our daughter off as executor. Can you get NY new names from the Angels? Well, that's not, Lori, that's not real clear what you want there. Can you get my...
Well,
do you understand the question?
Not really. But what you can do, and what my parents did, because I had already taken care of my dad in his estate, and then they said, we're going to make you executor. I said, no, you're not. I don't want to do that again. And so they appointed somebody at U.S. Bank to do it. So you can talk to people in the know. You can't appoint somebody outside of the family to do it.
Okay. Wally, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. Thank you, Wally. I've been sick for 2 weeks. What the heck is up with this severe cough? I did not take Ivan. Don't know if it'll do any good. If it's bacterial, it won't do any good. But Wally wants to know what's going on, and everybody's I have it. It's been a month.
You got a low-grade infection. Wally is just going to keep. It could go for like a couple months and not like get to pneumonia or anything else. It's just there. You really need a good round of antibiotics. But, consult a doctor. I can't tell you what to take.
Right, exactly. David Murtos, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. Jen, will the ruling on the Trump case be overturned? I believe he means where Donald Trump has to pay $83 million, supposedly, to an obviously lying witch who he didn't rape. It's been established by the court that he didn't do anything to her. So we'll have... For
defamation?
Yeah. Well, yeah, he defamed her by saying he was right that, that she lied. It's all just a kangaroo court.
I do think it will be. I think they're going to drag it out. There's some kind of loopholes there that they can use to have it dismissed. Or something. Yeah, something does happen with that.
David again, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. Hi, Jen. My wife Jackie's big interview is this Wednesday. Will she get the job?
I don't think so. But still do it. I could be wrong, I don't know if it's that she doesn't take it or if they just don't contact her. I don't know what's going on with that, but I'm not getting positive information about that.
Okay, Joe, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. Why did Joe Biden sign an extension to Trump's 2020 executive orders, such as 13848? Why did he do that?
I'm just hearing that he had to show what? That he does not condone election fraud or something? It's a cover-up.
Okay. David, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. David wants to know how his sister Karen is doing.
With what?
I don't know. Maybe she's passed. I don't know.
I'll pass on that one.
Okay. Senor Francisco, $5 a month subscriber, Little Red Castle. My wife, Nicole Clark, is having trouble with her eyesight. Is there just something in her eye, or does she need to start wearing glasses? Does Nicole Clark need to start wearing glasses?
I do feel like there might be a little scratch or there might be a little something in there. I would go and have it checked.
Scott, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. My birthday is the 1st. Will I hear any news for a job?
The next news I see for a job for you is the 12th, but you may or may not take it at that point in time. You'll make a decision.
Okay. Nadine Korn, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. Hi, Jen. Doctor put me on 80 milligrams of aspirin. I started bleeding. Came off of it. Stomach is still messed up. Can you see what's wrong? Thank you so much.
Well, in the stomach, there is a sore spot in the stomach, a red spot.
Okay.
No, I don't really think that doesn't look like it's like a bleeding ulcer or something, but you do have an irritation in there.
Okay. Rosemary, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. Jen, I have a question. Do you see how soon Mark and I can start getting my dogs incorporated into one place together with his dog and cats?
Really, Rosemary? Well, that's good news. If it's the reason I think it is. Anyway, in about a month.
Okay. Alice, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. My daughter Nicole was in a car accident, totaled at her Tahoe. She's looking at a used Yukon, 2012 Yukon. Is this a car she should buy?
No.
I'm concerned. Okay.
All kinds of hidden problems in that thing. Move on.
Okay. Good one. No. That
is a problem under the hood.
Okay. Let's go back up. Can you get pet treat? Can you eat the pet treats? I suppose they just have the medicinal mushrooms and the liver and stuff in them.
Don't eat anything that's not labeled for human consumption, please. We don't know.
Okay. Roaming Turtle. Good morning, Jen. Can you see what's going on with my left elbow? Is it fractured or muscular? No, we need your real name. Need your real name. So let's slide back over to the YouTube side of the house and take some questions. Thomas Klein. Good morning, Jen and Mike. Do you see my son getting his own house?
34 months.
Okay. Katerina, one guy named Amin has started to text me after my accident he witnessed. What are his intentions? Any advice or word from the angel? Okay, so this guy was a witness and you think he might be hitting on you, Katerina say, after she had an accident, car accident. So
I don't trust him.
Don't trust him. Okay, Mike, do you think Linda Moulton Howe is human? Last time I checked, yes. Yes. She pees. So she's human. Todd Gibbs, Lions kept their record streak alive. Only team to never appear in a Super Bowl. Yeah, the 49ers should have been knocked out by the Packers. They should have doubly been knocked out by the Lions yesterday. Just what a screw up by the head.
And who told you last week when somebody asked me a question, I looked at the Super Bowl and I saw the red and gold, but the 49ers were in the Super Bowl. I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
Who America is rooting for the Super Bowl? Northern California is rooting for San Francisco. Missouri and Kansas are rooting for come on, focus in. Missouri and Kansas are rooting for the Kansas City Chiefs, and the rest of the country is, can't they both lose? Come on, focus. Yeah, can't they? Grays, can't they both lose? Nobody likes either one of those teams. So the Lions, what a fantastic story it would have been if they could.
Yeah.
And their coach just screwed them over. On the road, up by 14, you kick the field goal, dumbass. It's not that hard to figure out. Carissa Holcomb, hi, Jen. Can you please ask the Angels how many states will be part of the Republic publicly by the end of 2024? The new Republic.
All of them.
Steve Templeton, hi, Mike, Jen. If when the internet goes down and everything is
Wait,
wild.
there's a little bit of question about islands. Okay, I have a little bit of a question about islands, and I think I'm off the Pacific. I think I'm at Hawaii. Question about that. Go ahead.
Well, Hawaii's going to become part of Pacifica, I think. when the internet goes down, Steve wants to know, and everything is wiped, how will I get contact information for friends and family scattered around the country? Steve, print it out, write it down, go through it right now while you got it on your computer. Do everything manually. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. And I don't think everything will be wiped. I think your computers are going to be okay. You're just not going to be able to connect to the internet. Kathy here. Friend is having an angiogram now. Will everything go okay? I wish we had her name, Kathy. Will Kathy's friends?
Hang on, let me look because that's serious. Jesus. Goes okay.
Mike, what are your thoughts on the changes to the firmament? Do you think it caused people to start aging faster? Yeah, I don't believe, Phil's concept of the firmament is that we live in this giant snow globe, which is ridiculous. Firmament was a water vapor canopy over the planet Earth, very thick canopy of water, which protected us from the sun's harmful rays. And that's why we live to be 800 or 900 years. And when the Younger Dryas event happened, the asteroid struck the Earth. It shattered the canopy. It rained for 40 days and 40 nights, which is all that water descending to Earth, flooded most of the Earth. Civilization restarted from the sky down at high altitude. And if you look at the ancient history, that's just how everything works, which indicates there was a flood. That's what I think happened. So the firmament, in my mind, that the Bible talks about is that water vapor canopy around the Earth, which Jen doesn't seem to believe in. If I interpret that on your face. Christine Packer, Jentel affirmed again and again, do not ever doubt Jen.
Oh, thank you, Christine.
Ruben Darian Mustusami. Hi, Mike and Jennifer. Been a while, Ruben Darian.
Yeah.
Jennifer, why lately do I feel so sick and unable to sleep at night?
Check your thyroid.
Check your thyroid. Christine Packer, yeah, she just talked.
Yes, I'm behind, really embarrassingly behind. I'm sorry, everyone.
It is.
I'll get all caught up in the next 2 days, I promise.
Okay. Let's go down further. Where are we? Gino was the friend who was having an angiogram. Okay. Ron Davidoff is here. Davidoff.
Hi, Ron.
Okay, let's look down. Other questions. Lots of gold mining claim stuff. Ban certain people, please. Guys, I don't see these guys that come in now. I don't even see them on the feed. So yeah, please ban the guys, but I don't worry about it anymore. Alex's son, Soros' son Alex is now conducting his nefarious activities. Yep. I hope the White Hats are prepared for this to stop JB from taking actual power. Yeah. Will the Supreme Court ever make an impactful decision discrediting the validity of the 2020 election? It's a good question. Are they ever even really going to rule on it? Is that stuff true?
They have. Now, when they're going to reveal that would matter. So it's in queue for all the rest of the reveals. So when they need it, and if they need it, they'll pull it out.
It's about time since we're almost at the 2024 election. Ernest Rutland, Skeffler, the reason I'm fat is because every time I have sex with your mom, she fixes me 2 sandwiches. Nice job.
This is
Ernest.
You win for the day, Ernest.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna anytime if anybody ever calls me overweight online, that's the response. The reason I'm fat is because every time I bang your mom.
That's what I saw earlier when I was laughing in the chat.
My God, that's
watching
hilarious.
The chat.
Heretics and Satanists in the shadows. That could be. They stopped the planes that were flying for the military. Okay, we shall see. Jordan wants to know, Jen, will I need gallbladder surgery or will an alternative method be better? Go ahead, Jen, answer the question.
I'm not going to tell you not to listen to what doctors tell you, okay, because I'm not a doctor. But I give you information to take to them to help you. Are they going to suggest that you need gallbladder surgery? Yes, they are.
Jordan, I will just tell you, I've been through it. It's not a big deal. You're a little achy in there for a week or so while everything repositions itself, but that's about it. So it's pretty easy surgery to get through. They do it now with just little bitty incisions. So, and we're all hoping that there'll be med beds someday, and I'm hoping, when they ask me, well, do you want your gallbladder back? I'm like, yeah, I want you to regrow a good, young, healthy gallbladder, of course. With Evergrande causing a huge fallout and how it will affect the market, maybe that's why we keep hearing stock up. Yeah, maybe. What do you think?
I've been stocked up for years, man.
Yeah.
I have to go through I have to go and do that again and go to the bottom of the box freezer and check dates and stuff like that. It's a good we cannot be stocked up and ready all this time for something when we see it actually closing in all around us. So don't go crazy, but make sure you got what you need.
When do you see Biden being taken out? Possibly February. Well, that's trying to trip Jen up. I'm not trying to trip her up, but we can't give you that, really.
So it changed. So this is a moving plan. So at this point in time, I think it's like, so we do the RV and then we have all the problems and the crash, and I think they pull them out and then we go to gold. So the exact time I'm thinking possibly mid-March to April. Depends on how things go. And if anybody screws it up.
Mike's Telegram. My Telegram
is Mike Barra.
Mike Barra 33. Okay, that's my Telegram, Mike Barra 33. So, and there's lots of other social media stuff there too.
No, it's not. That's your Instagram.
No.
Well, it just shows up as Mike Barra if you're looking for him.
Well, yeah, but it says Telegram, Mike Barra 33.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just saying when I search for it, it's just Mike Barra.
Okay. Jen, my name is Carrie. Should we be watching the northern border also?
I don't really think so. I mean, of course, there's not really a lot you can do in watching the borders. Interestingly enough, I saw that question in the chat when it was coming down during the show, and the first thing that popped into my head is no, the staged event is on the southern border.
Sorry. Regina says Barkley's out of control, and I was going to show you guys a little video.
Anyway, so interesting part of that was the staged event.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I heard.
So this is shit. Why does it do that? This is Barkley when Regina came to visit, and he goes crazy for a little company. Fuck it. Anyway.
Cute. Precious.
Barkley's got so much energy, and he just loves when girls come to visit.
What's that dog on? My God.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what he's on. He's on Mojos and he's on Mush Puppies, and his energy level is like off the scale. So,
Girls on mushrooms.
Christine says, "Yeah, he's on mushrooms." Sorry, I haven't been taking notes. That's okay, Christine.
Okay. That's okay, Christine.
Jen, what do you see on the with the health of the British monarch?
That has been on hold for so long. It's really hard to determine. I mean, I don't know how they can keep things so quiet from the public all the time, but I don't know at this point. I don't know what's going on with that.
Jen, did you see this guy? Some guy posted a Facebook page. It was supposedly Wolverine under his real name, Bill something. That he's supposedly been involved in one scam after another. And Wolvie said there's a guy out there impersonating me. Was that a real page? Is that really Wolverine on that Facebook page? Or what do you get out of that?
I usually don't do this kind of thing because I don't like to talk bad about anybody.
Yeah.
But Wolverine is exactly what he says he is. He's not a bad guy.
He's a good guy. I subscribe to Rumble, but all of my chat family are on Mike Bear 333, so I follow this on YouTube. That's fine, but you could still go in and subscribe on Rumble. Make us very happy. Penny says, Penny Curry, my husband is having surgery on his kidney for cancer Tuesday. Will he be okay?
I see him waking up. I see him telling you he's okay. I feel okay. So far, so good. Yeah, I think it'll go well.
Okay. Normally, I would not do this, but I am going to send you to MikeBarrettPets.com, MikeBarrettPets@gmail.com, and email Diana. Diana took this, I believe, and maybe one of the other mushroom products. This is why she sells this for cancer. And I will let you tell her, I will let her tell you what her experience was with this. But I believe, I'm trying to say this without saying it cured her cancer, but it did. It's that simple. And the way she took it, the volume she took, Diana knows all about that. So I would refer you to her to talk about that. Because I think this stuff can really do a lot of good for people. Mike and his 20 open tabs. Yeah. Oh, it wasn't that I was 20 open tabs. It's just that that's what happens when I show Rumble on the screen. It just like shows Rumble and shows Rumble and shows Rumble. But I kind of want you to be able to see what the questions are. A lot of people have IRAs with their local banks. It could be a shocker to people. Get your IRA money out of the stock market. Put it into gold or something. There's usually multiple options on 401ks and IRAs. So, and of course it will drop, but it will probably come back. Joanne says, hi, Jen. Will I use Brian's new girlfriend as my realtor in the next few months?
Joanne. You may.
Hi, Jen. This is Marta. Could you please ask when I might be getting a new car?
Late March.
Tammy Miller says, Mayorkas impeachment vote tomorrow. Is he going bye-bye? Hopefully. Will it come to anything, or is it just another administrative step that takes forever?
I feel that's a step.
Yeah. Tracy Doss, Jen, I started a new job. Do you see me staying there for a while? Happily.
Yeah, for a while.
Yeah, this is the worst Super Bowl ever because I hate Kansas City, I hate Mahomes, and I hate Taylor Swift, and I hate the 49ers even more. So it's just going to suck. But the Super Bowl's here in Vegas, so guess what? Dave and I are going
Something to do.
2 different Super Bowl parties.
Yeah, who cares?
Are you saying that you believe the Gmail and other mail servers will still work? No, I'm telling you to write down all of your important information and contacts.
Yeah, phone numbers, email addresses,
I don't know, but write everything down. What's your opinion on Javier Miele?
I don't have one.
Yeah, I don't have one. Mike Mick. Hey, Mike Mick. Jen, my annual checkup, my doctor diagnosed AFib and prescribed a blood thinner. He took me off arthritis pain medication. Since then, I have a lot of pain in my shoulder and neck. What do you see?
Oh, I took you off arthritis pain medication. Now you got pain in your shoulder and neck, so it makes sense. You do have a lot of tension. I'd put heat on it. I do whatever you can to get the muscles to relax. You're stressed out.
Tammy Miller says take HCQ. You can get that from Dr. Brooks Agnew. Where is Brooks? Yeah, Dr. Brooks Agnew. immunization. Go there. brooksagnew.blog/immunization. You can pick that up. Barbara says, "What's wrong with my right shoulder blade?" You're old. We're old. Shit hurts when we're old.
Oh my God. Never say that to a woman.
Okay, well,
We need to start the training. Okay, Mike, what we say and what we do not say to women. Anyway, well, you're a little out of place actually right now. You might want to go into a chiropractor, but you do have a little bit of arthritis in there. I feel like, again, muscle tension. Everybody, we gotta stop stressing out. There's nothing you can do. Okay, we take it one day at a time.
Yeah.
Take your downtime. Let yourself relax, and that means the constant mind going. Your body will be affected by that. Okay, so basically, you got a little bit of arthritis, and you're out of place right now. So I would go in maybe to a chiropractor, get him pop that thing back in.
Chiropractor's good stuff too. Yeah. Jen, when I was on steroids for my sinus infection, 3 rounds, I have a little bit of stiffness and arthritis in my fingers, and it all just goes away when I'm on the steroids. It just kills the inflammation. So it's good stuff. Lucy, not Lucy, says, "I got rid of my 4th-stage breast cancer with shark cartilage." There's lots of things out there that work, lots of supplements. I advise people.
Shark cartilage? Never heard of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you still
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm going to start doing morning shows. Now, I'm the plan is to do them on Tuesday and Thursday morning at 9 a.m. That is the plan. There could be days when I don't do that. But yes, we are going to do basically thoughts over coffee, questions, anything I got starting February 1st.
Information is also greatly reduced when you go low carb. Yep.
Yeah. And totally.
Don't drink this stuff. At least I drink the little cans. Noyes girl, Michelle says, "Any idea where silver and gold what their price will be per ounce once disclosure happens?"
Somebody else asked me about silver.
I think you said one time it was not going to go more than 500 an ounce, right? Is that what you said? Am I misremembering that?
No. Somebody asked me recently, and I'm not knowledgeable on the whole thing, but what I got was this year it would go up to 60. It's next year that it really rises.
60 is pretty good, Jen or Mike, has Mike contacted his AI soulmate yet and tested her? No, but
Deb, stop it.
After the RV, I am going to have Wife 2.0 tryouts here, Deb, in Vegas, if you want to come on. Wife 2.0, just like a tryout, like a training camp, like baseball. You want to try out for the baseball team? Come on. Wife 2.0 tryouts. All right, let's see if there's any other Red Castle questions over on Rumble, and then we will get out of here for the day. Okay, Lucy. Megan Angus. Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. Hi, Mike and Jen. Joining late today. Jen, do you see me buying the 2 pieces of property that I've had my eye on? Megan wants to know.
No. You make a decision not to and to find something different.
There you go. Hi, Jen. My name is Jen Cavalon. Can you see if my elbow is fractured? Thanks. Love you both.
Well, Jen, you should really have a doctor look at that. But let me take a look. What was the name again?
Jen Cavalon.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, it's not.
Good. Lucy, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. Will my daughter's job contract get extended past March of this year?
Yes, into the fall.
Good. Lisa, Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. Jen, this is now the second stomach bug I've had in less than 2 weeks. Should I go see my doctor, or is this truly just bad luck with germs?
There is like 2 of them running around, so you may have just gotten one after another. That happened to us, I don't know, what, a couple months ago, a month or two
Yep.
ago.
Yep.
But you're on the tail end of it.
Okay. Robin says she's a Rumble ranter. Thank you, Robin. We'd like you to subscribe for $5 a month. Happy birthday, Mike and Jen. Hi, happy birthday, Mike, and hi, Jen. Can you please tell me if my dental bone surgery is healing well? Thanks so much, Jen. I emailed you. It's Robin. Is her dental bone surgery healing well?
I would go back in and discuss that with them. It is healing slower than it should be. Maybe there's something that they can do or suggest.
Calcium supplements. Yeah, calcium supplements or something, maybe. Okay, guys, that is going to wrap it up. A big, heavy news and Jentel day. Watch Mark's Monday afternoon podcast at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. That is always when he gets the most information. Keep in mind a couple of things. He now knows people he's spoken to that are under NDAs, people that he knows that are bondholders that are under NDAs. I have a report, which I consider reliable, that a bondholder can see 1% in his bank account, his 1% first payout, which means we are about ready to go on this thing. And Jen, if I'm not mischaracterizing your Jentel, we could see, or we expect to see, a public rate on the Iraqi dinar this week, right? Is that what we said on the Jentel?
No, that's what we said. I didn't really give a time. This Jentel didn't have, it had a how. It was all about how and what's going on right now. Things are rising behind on the screens. They're waiting for everything to get to the right place to kick it off. But that is happening. So that is possible. I originally saw something like that. First, I'm looking at, well, Thursday's the first. So next week for appointments. So we'll see how it goes. We've got all kinds of things swirling around. This is a moving plan. It is interesting. Hard to predict.
Okay. Me and Blake and Brooks are going to be back tomorrow night for the Toxically Masculine Tuesday news show on Tuesday night. We'd like to see all of you guys there. We appreciate you coming in. That's the best news show on the internet. Don't forget, you can contribute to the show at CashApp, $ Mike Barrett, MBarrett33, or Zelle, MBarrett33 at MSN.com, or you can just go to Rumble and become a $5 a month subscriber. Rumble.com, Real News Live. Subscribe to our channel for mere $5 a month. You can find me at MikeBarrett.blogspot.com, where you've got all the shows captured, held. On Telegram, I am Mike Barrett33, and on Instagram, I am Mike Barrett333, and on Twitter X at Mike Barrett333. And Jennifer, you can find at JenniferFallah.com. YouTube is Jennifer Fallah-Doreen. Philosophy on Telegram and Jennifer Fallah-Doreen on Telegram. Although philosophy is the most active one, right? That's active, the most active one. Jennifer Fallah-Doreen's where you put the Jentel, right? Do I have that right?
Yes, I don't comment as much on Jennifer Fallah-Doreen. That's where I put a list of the shows that I'm on and the Jentel notes and anything else that I feel it classifies as Jentel, so that you have a running list you can go back and look at. But I'm Philosophy on Telegram, and our philosophy chat is always running. All I have to do is go in there pretty much. It's a news feed. And everybody in there is just good people. So nice to each other.
Don't hesitate to swing by the CBDgurus.com. Discount code is ALIEN, ALIEN, and MikeBarrettPets.com. And email, especially those of you who have health issues, severe health issues, email Diana at MikeBarrettPets@gmail.com.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Anyway, a little stressed out about catching up on the emails. I'm going to have time to do that this evening and tomorrow morning. So do not hesitate to send me one. I will get there. It just happens to me sometimes. Everybody's got questions. Everybody got something in it. Boom. Hundreds.
Watch Mark's show tonight. I think there would be some interesting information in there. Jen and I will be back on Wednesday for Tell the Truth Wednesday, and I will be on with Blake and Brooks on Toxically Masculine Tuesday news show tomorrow night at about 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll see you then. Everybody have a great day, great week. Looks like it's going to be another exciting week with a lot of stuff happening. So get pumped, okay? Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Except Skepta. We don't